if people are moving, if the dogs start barking, we gonna keep going.
All right, we're just gonna keep going. I like that.
So DJ, Leon, thank you guys so much for being here, for being my wonderful co-host. Thursday Night Groove is popping. Tell everybody what y'all do, what it's about.
All right, well, Thursday Night Groove, you dig? We get it popping around Philadelphia. No genre left behind happens to be our slogan as of right now.
What about country though?
On the spot.
Well, that genre might get.
Nah, that was a couple countries.
Say nah. You ever heard Red Solo Cup? You don't know nothing about that. Anyway, you don't know about that.
That's my jam.
Anyway, go ahead, DJ. Tell them what we talking about.
On a party?
Yeah, TNG Music House, Thursday Night Groove. That's how we carrying it.
That's all you need to know. You dig?
All right, so they're my co-hosts. They're also the one that's playing all this wonderful music throughout the show, because they're making a mix every week, a 1 hour mix. One of the first ones I heard was super dope. Like they said, all types of genres, oldies but goodies, and then new age stuff. We got some Burna Boy in there, some Coffee, some Drake, some, who else in it? Tierra Whack from Philly representing. Like, they're just so versatile and so dope, so I'm happy to have them here. But besides my co-hosts, we have two wonderful guests that are here today. Joie Kathos, entrepreneur, dancer, rapper, producer, sound engineer, musician, all of the above. If you name it, she's doing it. And Darryl Pratt, entrepreneur extraordinaire. He got 4 businesses running. He's helping the kids. He's helping creatives. He's helping small businesses. He's doing it. So, Joey, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on, why you're here with us today, other than me asking you to be here. Let's talk about yourself a little bit.
My name is Joie Kathos. I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. I came up, in the Philadelphia public school system. I went to Quaker school, Catholic school, private school, charter school. So I'm really just a gumbo of all my experiences. And I got my start through dance. So that's pretty much what opened the door for entertainment. Even though I've always been doing music, I love to express myself in whatever way I can kind of I find new talents all the time. So, the list is going to keep getting longer, but ultimately what I want to do is inspire other people to be themselves at all costs and create their own legacy. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig that.
Yeah.
On the gang.
Yeah.
I dig that one.
And shout out to Stumble Music. You know what I'm saying? We've collaborated before.
Yes, we did collaborate before. I Bet Black 2. Check out the poster. Y'all on the radio can't see the poster. That's okay. But, that was a great experience. That was so dope. What was that, 27 artists we had throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, how many venues?
6 venues altogether. 4 with live performance. No, 3 with live performances, 4 with drink specials and food specials, and 2 vendor locations. That was a lot. Yeah. And I threw that together in 2 months. And 2 months with my business partner, Aaron Robinson, who's behind scenes. He's doing the thing. But I met Joie Kathos through a band called Rubber. Never did anything with her. Never had met her literally one time, called her up about this event, and she said, what can I do? Before I even asked her what I wanted to ask her, told her what it was, she was like, what can I do? How can I help? This sounds dope. I want to do it. And she came through tenfold. Her spot, she was at Hot Lounge jumping. Everybody was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to go to Hot Lounge. I hear about it. They're popping over there. My sisters didn't want to leave. You came. She's just a performer, y'all, and she knows how to put on a show. So our other guest, Darryl Pratt, thank you for being here.
Pratt.
Thanks for having me. I felt a little awkward that you left out dancer, singer, songwriter when you were introducing me.
Okay.
You didn't know he could do that? You didn't know? You never seen him spin on his head, have you?
Wow, you see how they try. I'm just joking.
They don't know about the guy.
I'm really happy to be on the first episode of Chatterbox. This seems like it's off to a great start already. You got these guys from Thursday Night Groove. I know Joey as well from the same way. I booked her for an event. She came, did her thing, was on time, professional.
Professionalism.
So I think you definitely got a good group. It just shows kind of what a small world I think we all live in right now.
Oh, Philly's like, I tell people, it's a small big city. I've run into so many of the same people over and over, especially in the art community. It's just
Facts.
people that are really doing their stuff and like doing great things out there. You just keep running into them because you want to be in the same mix.
Facts.
Y'all end up at the same, networking events and all that stuff. And it's great. I love that about
Philly's one of the smallest big cities in the world.
We function like a small town.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
One of the major metropolitan cities.
Like a full community feel. Like, and I like that. And the collaborative feel, like, y'all here, Thursday Night Groove here, coming through, Joie Kathos previously and now coming through and being great, and Darryl Pratt, like, I just like people coming together. Let me stop talking about myself. But
wait, I want to ask you real quick. You went to Quaker school? Is that what you said?
I did go to Quaker
What?
school.
What was that hit for?
Friend
What is
Select?
Quaker school?
Yeah, it's right off of 17th and the Parkway. So it's interesting because Quakers were the group of kind of like non-traditional Puritans that came up north, and they were really big on the abolition of slavery. And so when you go to schools like Friend Select or Friends Central or Green Street Friends, Abington Friends, their whole motto is that everybody is, one. Like we're all the same, you know what I'm saying? And it's not quite a religion, it's more so like a lifestyle. So when you go to school, like a lot of it is hands-on. We didn't have textbooks. We learn in our age group. It's kind of Montessori in a way.
That's
we
kind of
learn from
popping
each
now,
other. Yeah, and the classrooms are super small. So as opposed to like public school where it's like 30, 40 kids in the class, it was only 12 kids in our class. More individualized attention.
Yeah, so y'all was really learning.
And like, the tuition crazy. Like it's like 20,000.
So you was
per
really
kid.
learning.
Right, yeah. So that's just my mom fighting to try to get me the best experiences, even if I can't stay in them, just to have, some outside culture from places that I'm not from. It just helps to build the diversity.
What do you think you took away from that?
I think that is all true because I went to private school up until like 5th grade. Like I went to public school for like a couple weeks, but back home I'm from EHT. It's like half day kindergarten, so like both my parents worked. They were like, we can't do that. So it was like they put me in private school and I liked it and I stayed there, and I think I would probably do that for my kids, like go like half and half, because I think like I grew up with like rich kids, like kids that went to Ivy League, but also like kids that had total opposite experiences, and then everybody else in the middle. So I feel like I can relate to really anyone, no matter where I am, because I was just around a whole bunch of
it's funny
kids.
you say that because I did the opposite. I went to public school, then I went to Catholic school, and like honestly, when I went to Catholic school, it was like culture shock. It was like, y'all be acting like this.
The opposite would definitely be harder. Like I like kind of you go to private school, and then like I like public school because wearing a uniform was whack. It kind of, I think you said what did you get from that? Like aside from all the like meeting people and like being more cultured and everything, it took me forever to learn like what my style was, like what kind of clothes I like to wear, because I played sports, so it was like all during the week at school I was in a uniform, and then I'd just be in like athletic gear. So it was like when I went to public school, I was just like I was rocking just like jerseys and like jeans, but I didn't have any like
crazy.
I had the reverse.
I didn't have
My
any.
public school, we had a dress code. So like I did private, Catholic, public, and never did not have a uniform. Like it was terrible. Cause I did a New York public school in between private and Catholic, and that was wild. That's when I got into my first fight. I was in elementary school. I was in 3rd grade. I got bullied. My mom put me in karate, and then the bully tried to get at me, and I kicked his butt.
That's what's up.
And then I didn't get in trouble because I was one of the good kids, and so they saw us fight, and he got suspended, and I didn't.
Hit him with the kung fu necktie.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah,
Quaker
was
school,
great.
we wasn't. You don't wear uniforms like that. That's what the one thing that I took away from that, like. They was the first people to actually introduce the idea of meditation. They don't call it meditation, but like on Thursdays, all the kids have to partner with somebody from the upper school. So like if you're in 1st grade, you partner with like a 4th grader, and then the ages go up. And then on Thursdays, we meet in this big room with the whole school, and everybody just sits in silence, and we reflect on what we went through in the week. And if you feel moved enough, you can get up and say something, but you don't clap for people. You don't it's just like kind of like you sharing and letting go of an experience
That's
that might
popping
be
though. That is
yeah,
popping.
it's no.
I love that.
When I have kids, I'm definitely like
Putting them in
that.
a Quaker school.
Not maybe not a whole school, but like introducing that form of culture because coming from Philly, you would not know that it was stuff like that for us here. Like
You need more like Montessori style.
Yeah,
I went
yeah,
to a black
yeah.
independent school
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
private school.
I went to
and
school in
that was
West Philly
great.
too. I went to OMS. It was like a private school, uniforms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved to Jersey, I could wear what I wanted to class. Yeah, I remember the first day of school when I moved to Jersey.
He discovered drip.
My mom, it's crazy. Like, my mom made me wear a suit, and like everybody had on like flip flops and stuff. I just didn't understand. I told my mom, took that suit off. Well, I got my first pair of Nikes. It was a wrap. Because all I knew was sports. Like I always was in a uniform. In school, I was in a uniform. Sports, I had on uniform, and then I went to church every Sunday. I was an altar, acting like I had on a uniform. So.
right.
No,
I
that
remember my
one
first
third
pair of
grade year,
Nikes.
I still had to wear
That's
a
a wrap.
uniform. My parents kept us wearing the uniform we were wearing at our previous private school that entire year, and then went to Catholic school and started a whole. I was sick.
I'm
real
sure.
sick.
That would make
They
you
did not,
sick, too.
except for the winter, they would let us wear like our jumpsuits and stuff like that. But she was just like, no, like I don't want you guys to get out of the habit of dressing up to go to work because school was a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to a black independent school. My first school from 3 years old.
What's a black independent school?
So it's a private school, run by black people,
Okay.
organized by programs built by black people and Hispanic people. And it was, to be honest, I am who I am today because of that school. Like out of all the other schools that I went to, even the public school I went to was high school. That was formative years or whatever. But like the values that I have, that first school shaped me. I think foundationally, like we started every morning with drills. You know, like a drill, like no, like literally,
What kind of drills?
like they would line us up in the auditorium, and it was a small school in the middle of the Bronx, and they would line us up by age or like year, and they would be like left, and we would march in place, and they had a chant, and there's like we are the best, better than the rest, like no one can stop us.
Yo, I was thinking the same
It was
thing.
like
Whoa.
a military training in the morning. That was morning announcements. You line up, you do that, and you do the drill. Then we did African dance. We did.
How old were you when this
I
happened?
was, like I said, 3 years old through second grade. Yeah,
People
and
should teach their kids that they the best,
They
though.
only went up to 8th grade,
100%.
but like the amount of confidence that they inspired in you
Yeah.
to be yourself and to like
Gotcha.
just live free. Like gym wasn't like any other gym class. Like we would sometimes do dance or whatever. We had teachers from everywhere. I had one teacher. His name was Mr. Julian. He was Jamaican bull, had the heaviest accent in the world, and would yell at us unmercifully. They did not care about the laws on corporal punishment. Instead of detention, they would make you hold air. You ever held air?
What?
That is painful. You hold out your arms in a T shape.
Like a spirit bomb.
And you hold air, and they try to teach like community spirit. So it's just like if somebody's acting up in class, the whole class line up and hold air, and so
Hold air.
and hold air. You just stand there with your arms out as like 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's how I play that drum.
And
It's
like
right here.
I didn't realize how much that school shaped me and shaped my views, and like I was in this little safe bubble. Like Halloween, they didn't do Halloween, they did career day, and so instead of dressing up as a character, you dressed up as what you wanted to be in life.
They said
I
y'all
like
gonna
that,
be ready
though.
for
Hey.
the
No,
world.
That's fire.
it was
That's
amazing.
fire,
It was
yeah.
great, and like the teachers loved working
we
there.
ain't doing
Like
nothing for
everybody was
nobody.
a family. And shout out to the learning. That's what it was, the learning tree. And like
The
8th grade
learning
year,
tree.
they treated y'all like seniors. So they had a prom for the 8th graders. They did a
Oh,
trip to
wow.
Kenya for the 8th graders.
What?
That
was
school
grown.
was
That's
All right.
amazing.
All right. All right.
I didn't get
You know
to
what?
stay through 8th grade, but
I ain't
like,
never been there.
and like when I check on the people that went there, they're all out doing amazing things. Like one, he has his own show in like LA. The other one, she went on and expanded on her African dance and toured in Brazil with a company. And like
That's the
one, he's like minor leagues football, D1, all this stuff. Like they're like doing. I said minor
really,
league,
yeah,
but
minor league football.
like everyone that I know that I kept in touch with, that I'm not gonna knock his stuff. I'm gonna say what college football. I'm not gonna say
minor out
minor
there
league.
because I'd be like the Avatar, like I'm holding air.
I was so sick.
And like
of
for
that.
those of y'all who can't see, like I'm holding my hands out like Jesus Christ. It's
That's
like
how you
holding
did. You
air.
did in a line,
Like,
silent. And if anybody said anything, you start all over. They had a timer, and they would sit there and just watch you. And it was strict, but it was fun, and it was great. And if they're in trouble now, actually, they're like raising money to keep the school open and stuff. And I hope they stay open because I learned so much about myself.
If that was my alma mater and they had me holding air, they would be in trouble. I would not do it. There's no way I'm doing it, like unless I'm gonna be an airbender. Like,
but no, it was great because like a culture shock was me moving to Poconos, and then I had never experienced other people and like racism and all that stuff. And when I got there, I was in my Catholic school. I was the only black kid in the entire grade for half the year.
Wow.
And I got a lot of looks and a lot of stares, but it was a great experience. And I feel like all of us had this private school hybrid public school weird.
We had a little bit of everything,
right?
Exactly.
That's why we all so versatile.
Right. I feel like that's what shaped us. That's why we're creative. That's what, you know. You gotta have diversity in your life. You gotta grow up with different sceneries. You can't just be stuck in one place your whole life, or you don't do nothing. You don't see nothing.
Right. No, that's very.
All right. Let's move on from schools. You dig?
Right.
Talk about schools for a minute.
Right.
You dig? I graduated for a reason. I'm not trying to. You dig? I ain't never going back.
So I'm going back to our guest. Joey, so you had some new releases come out during quarantine. We're gonna touch on quarantine because quarantine is it's what it is. But you had Fly Away come out. You did the Track Meet Volume 1.
Yeah.
I want to just talk about your releases and how successful they're going. You know, and you're kind of a low key person.
I am.
But I feel like your music is taking off and people are really vibing with your sound.
Thank you. Yeah, the interesting thing about me is like I'm one of those like extrovert introverts. It's like my personality is naturally big, so I don't do the most in like bragging or boasting or even revisiting things that I do. Just because my reasons for doing them and people's reasons for liking them is completely different.
Right.
But yeah, Fly Away is a joint single that I released with my homie Maestro TS. He's an amazing keyboardist and like house producer. It was crazy. It's my first like real house joint that I ever did, but I came up in the dance scene, so house music has like a really special place in my heart. I just released it because in the beginning of quarantine, everybody was depressed and like feeling
And
it.
it makes
You know what I'm
feel
saying?
good. It's
Feeling
fun.
it.
Yeah.
And
It's a
I was
fun
like,
song.
I'm one of those artists that's like, you know, I'll make the stuff that I feel like I want or I feel like isn't represented enough or to combat whatever I'm experiencing now. So like sometimes I could be super depressed and I'll make a dope song, which that was.
True.
I was just like, bro, I can't be sad no more because like I've been sad and down this whole time. So me and him actually worked on that song. We had it sitting in the tuck and it was just like, this now seems the right time to put it out, and we dropped it and the numbers just started going crazy. I didn't pay for no ads on Facebook. I didn't pay for nothing. Like I started jumping rope to the song every morning.
Jumping with Joey.
Jumping with Joey, you know what I'm saying? We jump for joy when you jump with Joey.
I tried it twice.
like
That one day
I
I
like
logged on too late, and the other time
Yeah.
my lungs don't work the way they're supposed to.
Right.
What platforms is it on?
It's on everything.
It's
right
on
now.
everything? Good,
So
good.
the interesting thing, I think this is what she was kind of talking on. Like I do releases, and I'm real quiet about them in the U.S. market. It don't really. It's so much happening in the U.S. market.
Right.
But I dropped it, and it went like 10K in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Denmark, New
York?
Zealand,
Wow.
New York, Chicago, all the places where house music is really like the
Wow.
culture. And plus, you know, the dance scene in Philly is really huge. So that was a great way to push it. But that was just on some like, I want to give out something that's going to make people feel good. So we dropped it. And then the Track Meet Volume 1, I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Dilemma, Hello World, Official Dilemma.
He's on the stage.
He's fire. He's so fire. And like he's been kind of one of the people that I look up to on the producing tip, because I've been producing for just as long as I've been an artist. But I was, you know, 10 years ago, female producers, it wasn't like a thing that was normalized. the first few studio sessions I went in as an artist as young as like 13, 14, you know, I'm like, yeah, I wanna do this. I wanna make the beats and I wanna rap to them. And a lot of people was like, no, you can't do that. You too cute. Just put on this little outfit and take your clothes off and like sing about this.
And do the damn thing.
And I was just like, you know, I'm a fire sign, so it's only but so much I'm going to allow before I be like, I gotta express myself.
Right.
So that's what the track me ended up being. Dilemma spearheading it for the folks that he knew, you know, personally, that was producers. And he was just like, yo, we gonna do a live show of everybody making beats. So from 11 a.m. to like 11 p.m. it was just everybody that was a producer calling in on his stream, and we was making beats live on IG. Put it together in an album. It took a couple months for it to kind of get to all the stores, and then we just dropped it a couple days ago on Friday.
Wow.
So like,
Congrats.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna talk more about that in a second.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna get to Darryl Pratt and everything that he's been doing because he out here for businesses. So.